The ground violently splinters as dormant prehistoric creatures abruptly wake from their slumber, sparking a catastrophic breakdown of the local environment. Right in the middle of this chaos are a young boy named Kai and his mother, suddenly thrust into the role of prey, as an apex predator, an Indominus Rex, locks onto them. We are looking at a devastating mismatch in physics. You have a towering, multi-ton beast engineered for absolute lethality, chasing down the fragile frame of a human child. Trying to outrun a genetically modified predator of that scale in a straight line is mathematically impossible. Human biomechanics simply cannot generate the stride length or speed required to survive a direct chase. But sheer panic is quickly replaced by strategy. To survive, the group has to actively hunt for flaws in the predator's biological design. This highlights a critical biomechanical weakness: poor steering ability. Due to massive forward momentum, the predator requires a wide, sluggish turning radius. Knowing this, the group splits up, fracturing their escape routes into erratic directions to break its lock-on and stall momentum. They layer this physical evasion with a secondary exploit, smearing themselves with dinosaur dung. It's a crude tactic to mask their human scent and completely bypass the predator's highly sensitive olfactory tracking. Here, evasion is contingent on a granular understanding of the predator's sensory and mechanical limitations. Kai's group lives because they treated the Indominus Rex as a biological entity with specific exploitable glitches. Yet, the jungle isn't the only hazard. The survivors are intercepted by a man named Mr. Cheon, introducing an entirely different psychological danger. Cheon is desperate to protect the secrecy of an immersive virtual technology he's developed. He prioritizes his artificial, physical paradise over reality, fully willing to trap the survivors so his efforts won't be exposed. Refusing to be contained, the group breaks away from his psychological trap, piling into a nearby off-road vehicle to make a desperate escape. But the relief is short-lived. The vehicle's mechanical brakes fail entirely, plunging them right back into a state of uncontrolled danger. Man-made escape mechanisms inevitably break down just as disastrously as man-made attempts to control nature in the first place. The careening vehicle is suddenly blocked by the King of Indominus Rex. Just as it closes in, a massive prehistoric pangu python violently strikes, intervening to defend the humans. This matrix compares the combat potential of the two titans. Even though the pangu python has completed its metamorphosis, it suffers from species suppression. The raw bite force, mass, and predatory adaptations of the Rex leave the snake at a severe biological deficit. Then comes a terrifying realization about the King of Indominus Rex. It possesses aquatic mobility. It can swim. This heat map shows the immediate consequence of aquatic mobility. If the Indominus Rex can migrate to mainland shores, it introduces a predator into ecosystems with zero natural defenses against its size or speed. The presence of a swimming apex predator means isolation is no longer a defense. Stopping the Rex here is the only way to prevent a total collapse of the regional coastal food chain. The adults scramble to deploy a final countermeasure, wiring the area with explosives to stop the Rex before it ever reaches the water. But as panic sets in, the remote detonators fail. None of the frequencies connect, and the digital systems completely collapse. With their final technological failsafe crumbling in their hands, the adults are left paralyzed by the sheer terror of the situation. It is here that young Kai takes control. Breaking away from his mother, he sprints directly through the debris to manually trigger the explosives himself. When complex systems break down and adult logic freezes in fear, survival demands extreme, uncalculated personal sacrifice. The blast neutralizes the threat. When the dust finally settles, an unconscious Kai slowly wakes up in the arms of his mother. She realizes that her own fear almost held them back, and that her son's raw bravery is the only reason they are alive. Mr. Chan's reliance on technological control ended in ruin, while Kai's willingness to act on primal instinct secured their safety. Ultimately, these events suggest that human innovation is a fragile shield. True survival requires an acknowledgement of nature's scale and the physical reality of our place within it.